Robertson back. Daniel Vogelbach, 80,000. Obviously, Alec Garcia is 90,000. And again, if you look at it, I feel like JD Martinez is definitely going to hold down that spot at number 1. At number 2, with Hunter Pence, he's definitely going to hold down that spot. So we've got JD Martinez and Hunter Pence. Martinez has been awesome. Hunter Pence with a resurgent season in Texas as the DH. But that third and final spot is going to be up for grabs. And again, Minnesota isn't known for going out and voting for their guys. Ohtani could definitely catch Nelson Cruz. Stanton, even though he hasn't played, could very well catch him. Aledmys Diaz, Houston could catch him. I don't see Davis, Vogelbach, or Garcia. But between Cruz, Ohtani, Stanton, and maybe Diaz, could see any of those guys taking that spot. And again, this is all as of Monday. Let's take a look at the National League ballot update. So this came out on Tuesday, a day after the American League ballot update. And we'll take a look at the catcher spot. In first, out of all National League catchers, we've got from the Cubs, Wilson Contreras, 850,613 votes. In second, from the Atlanta Braves, Brian McCann, 269,963 votes. And third, from the Philadelphia Phillies, JT Realmuto, 206,442 votes. The contenders, Yadier Molina from St. Louis, 202,401 votes. He's 4,000 back of Realmuto. Yasmani Grandal, Brewers, 195,922 votes. He's only 21,000 back of Realmuto. Austin Barnes from the Dodgers, 183,692 votes. He's not that far back. He's only 23,000 back of Mr. Realmuto. Contreras is obviously going to keep that spot. McCann and Realmuto could slide. I see McCann keeping it. McCann hasn't even had that good of a season, but he is from Braves country, a long-time Braves favorite coming back there. I think he holds that spot. Realmuto, though, he could lose it. I don't think he loses it to Yachty. Yachty just got hurt, so we'll take him out of the mix. Grandal, potentially. Grandal's only 21,000 back. The Brewers draw from the whole state of Wisconsin. That could be interesting. But the real thing that I think could challenge Realmuto is Austin Barnes from the Dodgers. He's at 183,000, so that's 23,000 back. I made a mistake with Grandal. Grandal's only 11,000 back. So I feel like Grandal or Barnes could. If Grandal is still in LA, he definitely would, but he's now in Milwaukee. I could see Barnes or Grandal catching Realmuto and joining Wilson Contreras and Brian McCann to represent the catchers in that general election. And then once we get to that election, it's a crapshoot. You only get that one vote, but we'll see how that goes. First base update. Josh Bell of the Pirates, 621,915. Second, Anthony Rizzo, Chicago Cubs, 461,210. And third, Freddie Freeman, Atlanta Braves, 406,283. Those three will be your guys for the general election. Josh Bell, Anthony Rizzo, and Freddie Freeman. Second base spot. Ozzie Albies in first from the Braves, 424,467 votes. And second, Mike Moustakas, Milwaukee Brewers, 377,983 votes. And third, Ketel Marte, Arizona Diamondbacks, 327,269 votes. Then we've got the contenders. Cesar Hernandez from the Phillies, 265,608 votes. He's roughly 60,000 back of Marte. And then in fifth, Kiki Hernandez, Dodgers, 244,589 votes. He is roughly 80,000 votes behind. Now, I feel like you're obviously going to get Ozzie and Moose. You're going to get those two, and then it's just a question of who takes that third. It's going to be Marte or the two Hernandezes, Cesar from Philly or Kiki from LA. Now, Arizona should represent better voting-wise, but for some reason they don't. And then Philadelphia is a pretty big market, and then you've got the LA market. So I could see any of those three between Marte, Hernandez, and Kiki. Cesar from the Phillies, Kiki from the Dodgers. Marte deserves a spot, but again, this is a crapshoot. I could see any of those three making it. Then we get to third base race. And first at third base is Nolan Arenado, Colorado Rockies, 783,684 votes. And second, Chris Bryant, Chicago Cubs, 404,855 votes. And third, Justin Turner from the Dodgers, 273,586 votes. And fourth, the contender, Josh Donaldson, Braves, 206,588 votes. He's roughly 70,000 votes behind, and then rounding out the contender is Anthony Rendon from the Nationals, 178,215. And this third base race is a perfect example of why this is a crapshoot. Obviously, you get Arenado, he's deserving of that spot. And then you get Chris Bryant, it's like, okay, pretty deserving if you take a look at all the candidates. And then you get Justin Turner and Josh Donaldson, who are both ahead of Anthony Rendon. Rendon definitely deserves that third spot. Do I think he's going to get it? No. I say Turner holds it down, and the guys moving on will be Arenado, Bryant, and Turner. Shortstop race in the National League. We've got Javi Baez, Cubs, 861,496 votes. And second, Dansby Swanson, Atlanta Braves, 286,802 votes. And third, Corey Seager, LA Dodgers, 257,085 votes. And the only contender trying to chase down Seager is Trevor Story, Rockies, 243,550 votes. Now, again, Story, he's only 14,000 votes behind, so he could theoretically catch Seager. But we have that case of it's LA. Again, Story, he has the whole state of Colorado. Theoretically, he should have that whole West Coast, region there, but it's going to be Seager. I say Javi, Swanson, and Seager move on. Outfield race in the National League. We've got our 2 million vote getters. Number one for the National League is Cody Bellinger, LA Dodgers. 1,189,380 votes, the top vote getter. And number two is Christian Yelich, Brewers, 1,057,855 votes. And third, Ronald Acuna Jr., Atlanta Braves, 518,760 votes. And fourth, Jock Peterson, Dodgers, 344,440 votes. And fifth, Albert Almora Jr., Chicago Cubs, 244,445 votes. And sixth, Charlie Blackmon, Rockies, 278,070 votes. Seventh, Jason Hayward, J-Hay Cubs, 270,745 votes. Eighth, Kyle Schwarber, Cubs, 252,557 votes. And in ninth, Alex Verdugo, the rookie from the Dodgers, 242,988 votes. In 10th, the contender, and this is the closest that we get out of getting to that election, and not Bryce Harper, Phillies, 242,719 votes. As of Tuesday, that's like a 200-vote margin. Then still looking to catch Verdugo and potentially Harper, Nick Markakis, Braves, 232,995 votes, puts him at 10,000 back of that spot. And then Juan Soto, only other contender, Nationals, 161,939 votes, roughly putting them at 80,000 votes behind. And that's crazy how close Harper and Verdugo are. I could see Harper definitely because it's, again, a 200-vote margin. Harper has a better-known name than Verdugo. I don't see Markakis or Soto catching. And, Harper... And this is a perfect example of why this is a crapshoot. I mean, look at this. Let's look at this, okay? You have the entire Dodgers outfield in there. Bellinger deserves it. Jock Peterson, borderline, deserves it. Verdugo does not. Okay, he just does not. And then you have the whole Cubs outfield in there, too, with Alberto Almora Jr., Jason Hayward, and Kyle Schwarber. And then you have two Braves guys contending, and Ronald Acuna Jr. and Nick Markakis. And the guys rounding out the other contenders come from big markets as well. Charlie Blackmon, Rockies, Bryce Harper, Phillies, and Juan Soto, Nationals. Crapshoot at its finest, but that is the ballot update from the 2019 MLB All-Star Game ballot. The All-Star Game will be in Cleveland this year and will take place on July the 9th. Again, you have until Friday to vote 5 times every day. Make sure you do so if you want your favorite players represented, especially if they were in that borderline region that I mentioned. And yeah, the general election will be on June the 26th, so that's a week from Wednesday. You get to vote 1 time, 1 vote per person, in a 24-hour time period. And I'm going to continue to say this. It is a crapshoot. The MLB All-Star Game ballot, fan ballot. The guys that deserve to get in are going to get in not as starters, but as bench pieces because the managers and the writers and the players know who's good and who's not. The fans generally just vote down the line. And I'm not going to act like I don't do it either as a Pirates fan. Like, what my ballot consists for on the National League side, and again, don't mean to get into my Pirates bias, Cervelli for my catcher, Adam Frazier second base, Josh Bell first base, and then I put Rendon and Tatis in there at third and short, And then the rest of it, in my outfit, I've got Melky Cabrera, Brian Reynolds, and Starling Marte. So I feed into it. We all feed into it. The fan voting system is, to be honest, just flawed. Kudos to you if you don't feed into the crapshoot that is the MLB All-Star ballot. The Atlanta Braves have won 8 consecutive games, including 2 dramatic walk-offs in their last 3 games. They lead the NL East by 2.5 games. They have Dallas Keuchel coming up in the near future. Only one other team in the National League has a better record than the Braves. For Braves general manager Alex Anthopoulos, he might be looking at his team and thinking one thing: is this team good enough to win it all, or do we need a little more? Is it time to break my own rules and start trading potential big assets to bring in difference makers? Is it time to put all their chips in the middle and go for a title? Let's be clear. This team is good without making any crazy moves on the trading market before the July 31st trading deadline. Since moving Ronald Acuna Jr. back to the leadoff spot and plugging Austin Riley into left field, the Braves lineup has become as deep as any teams in baseball. It's now up to 4th most runs scored in the National League and sports 6 players, including Austin Riley, who have already reached double digits in homers. But the pitching staff is, or at least should be, a concern. With another bad start by Max Fried, his ERA has now hit 4.11 after his tremendous start. Mike Foltynewicz has had a few good starts, but has mostly struggled this season. And while Sean Newcomb has looked like a changed man since a move to the bullpen, it's unknown whether his move back to the rotation to replace an injured and struggling Kevin Gausman will go. Keuchel is going to help this group, but the rotation may need more than one move to stabilize things. The bullpen has been a consistent worry since really last season. If Newcomb does land a lasting spot in the rotation, the pen loses one of its best arms. And it obviously already has its fair share of problems, namely a lack of guys you trust in high-leverage situations. Looking at Gwinnett, players like Grant Dayton, Wes Parsons, and Chad Sabatka, currently on the IL, could deserve some longer looks. And AJ Minter recently rejoined the roster after a solid run in AAA, but the Braves need more. The offense doesn't need much or really any tinkering. Sure, eventually Ender Inciarte is going to come back, and that's going to put a wrinkle into this whole thing. And you can make an easy argument that the Braves can improve their offense by going after a Joey Gallo or someone like that. But let's not get muddled down with trying to fix a non-problem. The offense is plenty good, but the pitching staff, yeah, they need help. For example, the Braves have given up 5 or more runs in 6 consecutive games. They've also won all 6 games. That kind of thing has only happened twice, going back to 1908, the 1937 Senators and 1929 Giants. You just don't typically win games consistently when your pitching staff is allowing 5 runs a night. The Braves have, but that's not sustainable. Keuchel will help. Hopefully, Minter will also help, and maybe you can tinker with Dayton and others to help improve the pen as well. But bigger moves might be required, and it's time to kick the tires on those moves. The problem, of course, is that the market is still developing. Some teams are still trying to decide if they want to buy or sell. Other teams want to wait until closer to the deadline before making moves to try to maximize the return. To get the players the Braves want, they might have to make a push and make it really hard for other teams to think they'll get a better deal if they wait. But that's not really a bad thing either. The earlier you make a move, the more value the new player can give you. We know what the Braves need: a starter and at least one reliever. And 3 teams that we know are definitely selling could be interested in dumping both to the Braves. The Giants have Madison Bumgarner and Will Smith on the market. Both are battle-tested veterans, but both will also be free agents at the end of the year. How much will the Braves give up to acquire rentals? Anthopoulos has shown a reluctance to give up much for those type of players so far. Of course, there's also Bumgarner's no-trade clause to deal with. Let's be honest, Bumgarner isn't what he once was, and there are concerns of how well he'll fit in with his clubhouse. Not big concerns, but Bumgarner tends to hate to see other players show emotion on the field, even as he shows plenty elsewhere. The Tigers are willing to trade Matt Boyd and have Shane Green ready to package for a trade. The Braves saw Boyd up close in their series with the Tigers a few weeks ago. The southpaw leads the AL in strikeout to walk rate. Funny enough, he was originally traded by Anthopoulos in 2015 when the Blue Jays